Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football for the third watch-along of the day and my first of two. We've got France against Denmark, I can't wait for this one. And then we've got Argentina's must-win game against Mexico coming up at 7 o'clock as well. So a double Saturday night treat for you, and also I'm going to have a Chinese takeaway in between and probably a hot bath. It doesn't get much better than that, and then I'll probably round the night off by watching a classic Christmas film like Lethal Weapon. But I tell you who's got a lethal weapon, and I'll tell you who's got a lethal weapon. France. It's called crossing. They put in more quality crossers than a John Terry spelling test the other night against Australia. And I'm really, you know what? I didn't think I would be as excited about France. France are a team that I would never normally really want them to do that well, but you know, I do appreciate good football, and the football that they played against Australia was fantastic. So, you know, I'm actually, you know, I like Denmark. I do like Denmark. I think they had a bad start, but I do like Denmark. But I'm actually excited to see France. I mean, and much the same as England. England were exciting against Iran and then tragic against USA. Are France going to let us down, or are they the real deal? I really am hoping that we're going to see that French side really, you know, continue where they were. And I think as well, you can't help the group that you've been put into, but I think France will be really happy that they're playing Denmark, because it just gives them a test in the group stage. Gives them a sort of a knockout game, knockout quality opposition in the group stage. I think it will do them good. But look, Varane's come straight back into that French team as well. I think he was just feeding him back in, Deschamps. He's got him straight back into the team today. Just shows you the quality of Raphael Varane. He's straight back in. But as you can see, there's the group stage. Australia are in second place. They played 2 games. Tunisia have played 2 games. They've got 1 point. Denmark have played 1 game. They drew with Tunisia. And France played 1, got 3 points. So that's how we're looking in this group. Okay. Harry Broadbent, thank you very much and welcome to the chat. Don't forget that our stats carousel, which I'm just about to kick off now, is sponsored by OneFootball, the place to get all your breaking transfer football news on one app. It's free to download and it's available on all platforms. Make sure you download it through the link in the description or by scanning the QR code. That's going to start going round now and tell you, and the team news will be visual for you, but I'll give it you verbal as well. Lloris Koundé's come into the team, which is interesting as well. Pavard out of the team. And so is Canate. So Lloris, Koundé, Varane, Upamecano, Hernandez. Very strong back for that. Tchouaméni and Rabiot keep their place. Dembele, Griezmann, Mbappé and Giroud keep their place. So just 2 changes to the back really. Pavard goes out for Koundé and Canate comes out for Varane. That is the French lineup, and it is of course Lloris who is the captain of the French side. And then Denmark, Kasper Schmeichel, Anderson of Crystal Palace, what a season he's had. Christensen, Barcelona, Nelson, Christensen, Mehil. I can't remember who Mehil plays for, and I've probably murdered his name to be honest, but he's a decent fullback. I think he plays in Serie A. Højbjerg and Eriksson, we know them from the Premier League. And then Lindstrøm, Lingard, he ain't getting in the World Cup, is he? Lindstrøm, Damsgaard and Cornelius up front for them, with on the bench. Poulsen's still there. You know, I always like Poulsen. He's probably getting a bit old now, but I always quite like Poulsen. He's on the bench. Dolberg's on the bench. Braithwaite's on the bench. A lot of people fancied the Danish side as their outsiders. I didn't. I didn't opt for them. I didn't. I don't actually think Denmark. I think Denmark had the Euros. I think that was their tournament. I don't think Denmark are going to be a dark horse in this one, to be honest with you. But look, the opportunity is there for them to do it, isn't it? So, England could have won last night if Southgate bought out Jackie Grealish on earlier. Suspicious. Oh God, don't make me throw up. I want to look forward to my dinner tonight. I love the French tracksuit, by the way. If I was French, I'd be all over that tracksuit. If I was French, just look at. I like the kit, but the tracksuit, the only way that tracksuit can get better is if it's in black. That is an elite tracksuit. Come on, I love navy blue and I love Goldbridge, but that is an elite tracksuit. I'm sorry, that is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Are you doing the Argentina game? Says Ara. Well, what do you think? He's starting tonight. My centre-backs are starting tonight. Maguire started off last night. Now the elite two are coming in tonight. We've got Varane playing for France and Martinez playing for Argentina. So yes, I am doing the Argentina game tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to all these games tonight. Denmark against France is a big game, and I thought France were brilliant the other night. I thought Denmark were a little bit disappointing against Tunisia. And I think Denmark will be disappointed with that Tunisia game, considering they have now lost to Australia. And then, obviously, Argentina against Mexico. I was looking at the group before I came on, and they've got a bit of a problem, Argentina, haven't they? Poland beating Saudi Arabia puts Poland in the mix now to play Argentina in the final game, and Poland will know a point will put them through. So Argentina have got to beat Mexico to get themselves back in the mix, and it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be hard for Argentina to top the group now. I'd only give them a 50% chance of topping the group, and I'd give them probably a 70% chance of qualifying, because they are good enough to beat Mexico and Poland, but I don't think they'll beat them both. So I think they'll end up with 4 points, and I think Poland might top the group with 5. Although Saudi Arabia, they only need a win against Mexico, and they'd have 6 points. So I think Argentina could still qualify, but I don't think they're going to finish top of the group. So that's how I stand with that. With this group, I expect France to win this tonight, and then it leaves Denmark with a massive game against Australia for who gets second place, really. I think Tunisia will obviously go out. And of course, I mean, this is a bit of a... I mean, these games tonight are very, very big. Of course they are, but let's not forget tomorrow night on the World Cup, we've got Spain against Germany. And I think Germany could go out tomorrow night. Japan, Costa Rica, 10 a.m. If Japan win that, I'll be up early watching that one. If Japan beat Costa Rica, they've got 6 points, which means Germany have to beat Spain. Otherwise, you can't go. You're not going to go through in Germany's group with 4 points if Japan have got 6. So Spain have definitely going to get 6 points. Spain will beat Japan, I think, and they've already beat Costa Rica. So Germany are going to have to beat Spain tomorrow night. Massive game that. Germany could be out in the group stage. We always seem to lose a big club. And then, obviously, tomorrow afternoon, you've got Croatia, Canada. I think that'll be a good game. And Belgium against Morocco. I mean, you'd fancy Belgium. I think Belgium were very lucky to get the 3 points against Canada, to be fair. But Croatia-Canada looks like being a good game tomorrow as well. But yeah, it's all about Spain-Germany, isn't it? And then Monday, it's the final day of the second stage of the group stage, isn't it? Our last 10 o'clock, Cameroon against Serbia. Then you've got South Korea, Ghana, Brazil, Switzerland at 4, and Portugal, Uruguay. What a game that's going to be. What a game. What a game. Can you land down under my... Harry, I don't know what you're talking about. Money from Big Night, land down under. He might be being rude. I'm sorry. I don't know what that means. If anyone does, let me know. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Couple of big games. I'm doing the next 2, so get involved in the chat. Appreciate that. Something sticky on my finger and it's really annoying me. It's not that. I think it's like a bit of sellotape, and it's just got stuck in the thing and it just won't go. Oh, it's annoying. Oh, he won money on Australia. Well done, Harry. I mean, what can I just say as well? A lot of people watch this channel from all over the world, watch the United Stand. I know there's an Australian massive, and what a result for you today. I was watching, and you thoroughly deserved it. And the celebrations and everything are fantastic. Real opportunity to get through the group for Australia. Obviously, Denmark to come, and it'd be really, really interesting group there. But look, we're ready to go here. I'm very excited about this one. Looking forward to it. For me, France and Brazil are the 2 teams that have got their reputation intact in this tournament so far. And Spain, of course. But France were brilliant against Australia. Brazil were brilliant against Serbia. And Spain were obviously very good against Costa Rica. England have fell away. They were very good against Iran and then bottled it against USA. So there's 3 real hot teams at the moment as we go into the second stage. And let's see if they can keep it up. But I think France will be too strong. I think France look really dangerous to me. They, I know they're the holders, and I know that there is the holders' curse. But they look focused. They look like favourites. They look like they're on it. But it's a big test for them today. With all due respect to Australia, they probably expect to win that. Look at how good that French kit looks. Denmark doesn't look too bad. But Denmark are actually playing in whites, but we've got them in red there. That's fine. And what are you going for? I don't think Portugal look that good, Shannon. Portugal remind me of England. I think they can be good on the day. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Look, Denmark pull off a result today, and, you know, it's happy days, isn't it? We'll see what happens. Can I just say as well, we're very close to 840,000, another landmark for the channel. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Loved the watch-alongs today. I was doing a bit of admin, watching Kev and Adam, and thoroughly enjoyed their conversation for the Poland game. And of course, Charlie and Beth, the Targaryens, were brilliant at 1 o'clock. Was it? No, they did the 10 o'clock show, didn't they? Yeah, I feel like it's been a long day. I meant, can you sing Land Down Under? Thanks, Mark. Huge fan from Australia, says Harry. I don't know. Oh, I come from a land down under. You better run. You better take cover. You're lucky I know what it. You're lucky I know that song, and I actually like that song. So in tribute to Australia's win today, I would happily give you a few lines of that. I'm just trying to find the lyrics for you. Men at Work sung it. Let's have a look. Do you come from a land down under, where women glow and men plunder? Can you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover. There you go, that's all you're having. I love that song. Very good song. You have to be a certain age to know it. How are you after your first 0-0, says Dylan? I don't feel... If I was going to get a 0-0, at least it was the England game, because, you know, you're engaged in the England game if you're English. You know, I wouldn't like what Jordan had, where you're getting 0-0s from countries that you don't really have a connection with. But Denmark have started off all right here. I actually think that this French team is better with Koundé at right back instead of Pavard. I don't know what others think, and obviously it's better with Varane in it. First win in 12 years for Australians. Thanks for blessing us with this, says Bad Bath. I love that song, Men at Work, Down Under. I also like that one, Toto, by Africa. I especially love how they fit in Kilimanjaro into a line that doesn't have enough syllables. Could you say happy birthday to my son Ben, says Block. Happy birthday, Ben. I like Koundé, though. That's a good header by Koundé. And I loved Ousmane Dembele. We took the piss out of him a lot on the United stand because of his breadstick hamstrings, and we christened him Dembelance, and we didn't really want him. But I don't think it was ever really in doubt that he's a brilliant player. It's just... I tell you what, Denmark have started off a lot better here. I thought they were very disappointing in the first game, and maybe they're going to find their groove here, because they are many people's dark horse, and you know, it'd be interesting to see what level France are at. Mark, are you on Talk Sport soon? My show was just about Premier League stuff on a Saturday night, so I'm not involved in their World Cup stuff. So I don't know when I'm on again. Maybe when the Premier League comes back, but I wouldn't have thought I'd be on Saturdays at Christmas Eve, isn't it? I don't think I'll be on till after Christmas now. Let me get rid of you. You know who you are. You don't even get a shout out for it. Iron thinks this might be a bore fest. I think it's going to be a good game. Denmark have started off quite well, though. One thing about Denmark is they are quite tight. Remember, because of England last night, we have had 5 0-0s. The record is 7 across a whole tournament. We've had about... let me just get this right, because I don't want to give you false information. We've currently had about... We've had 5 0-0s in 26 games. And the record is 7 0-0s, but that's in the total tournament, which is, I think there's about 48 games in a total tournament, isn't there? No, 64 games. So we've had 5 0-0s in 26 games, and the record is 7 in a whole tournament, 64. So this tournament needs to light up a little bit, because if we get... It's heading to breaking the tournament of 0-0s, isn't it? I always think 0-0s are... Would you ever have a bet on a 0-0? I just think 0-0. It only takes one goal, doesn't it? A penalty, a deflection. I don't know how so many games do end up 0-0. But I think it's 5 0-0s we've had now. And an interesting thing, we've had 5 0-0s and we're only on the second day of the second group games. In Russia, they didn't get their first 0-0 until the third group games. So, I don't know. I still think the ball is a problem, but people keep laughing about it. But I think the ball is a problem because if you think about it like this, if nobody's scoring from outside the box and you're a defender, you know that basically you've just got to defend your box well. And as an attacker, if it gets in your head that you know goals aren't going in from outside the box, they try and work it into the box more. So it sort of becomes a double negative. Defenders know to defend their box, and that's because that's the biggest threat. And attackers know not to shoot really from distance. So I think it is a bit to do with the ball. I mean, some people say, well, no, it's not. It's to do with tiredness. I don't agree with that. Heat, I don't agree with that. Everybody's around the same level. I don't agree with that either. Did you see the difference in the post-match interview from Southgate? Was delighted last night, but was fuming on Monday. That's really worrying, says Alex Holt. Oh, yeah, the fact that Gareth Southgate's happy with the draw against USA is another reason. I did a video last night. It's on this channel, Southgate out. I'm so conflicted with England, it pisses me off. I desperately want them to do well because I'm English and I think we've got some brilliant players. But I just don't think there's something very negative about the team with Southgate in charge. And I mean, maybe other nations have that as well, but I am so conflicted. I want them to do well. I want the players to do well. But then you're managed by this manager who you just know is going to wind you up at some point numerous times again. I mean, their Henderson substitution last night actually made a difference, but don't just bring Henderson on. I mean, not bring Phil Foden on is disgusting. And then to say I didn't bring him on because he doesn't really work well centrally. I mean, it's just abysmal. Mbappe's just put a good cross in there, but it's headed away. Want to see more of that from France. Says it's not the ball. Yeah, but I'm more than happy for people to say it's not the ball, and I'm not going to get into an argument with you, but I think the ball is a problem. And I've just communicated it to you why. Because defenders know that they've just got to defend their box well, and attackers know that shooting from the edge of the box isn't a good idea, so they've got to work it into the box. So if you take away goals from outside the box, how many goals are scored outside the box? Maybe hardly none. But when you know you're not going to score outside the box, I think it is having an issue. But look, it's a theory. I think it's a theory that's based on potentially having some substance, but people go, it's not that. Well, what is it then? Tell me what it is. Because people just go, oh, it's not the ball, it's not the ball. But there's a problem. There is a problem, so tell me what it is. In Russia, the first 0-0 happened on the third set of group games. We've had 5, and we've barely started the second group game. So there's clearly an issue. Oh, what a cross again! Oh, they're so good at crossing. The French are so good at crossing. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love a team that wants to put crosses into the box, and I'm very surprised that France do, but they really do. They play my kind of football, King. Yes, France. 4-2-3-1. Width. Get stuff into the box. And as I keep saying, Giroud's very good on crosses, but he's not particularly mobile. Imagine if they did have Benzema. Who's the better manager, Southgate or Ollie? Says Block. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? I'd still say Ollie. Denmark are doing all right, though. I think they're going to get a corner here. Oh, no, it stayed in. It's hit the corner flag. You don't see that very often. Thank you. Oh, lovely cup of tea. Cross comes in. Laris. Merlin's come out with a theory. 0-0 because they're exhausted. Are they exhausted, though? Are they exhausted? I mean, some people think that they're not exhausted because they're playing in November. But having said that, a lot of players have been playing 3 times a week to fit this World Cup in, so maybe. I don't have sugar in my tea, Boomoo. I used to years ago, but I don't. I mean, some people think it's just down to better tactics defensively. Defences are better than the attacks. Because we have had some games where there's been goals. But the overall quality of people's attack isn't good enough. I can't argue with that sometimes. I think when you look at USA and Canada, as impressive as they were, they didn't really have much of a cutting edge. Favourite Christmas song, says Ash. Actually, I've been listening to a load of Christmas songs today because our radio stations have gone all Christmas for the last couple of days. I've always liked Paul McCartney. Wonderful Christmas Time, actually. That teabag's not been in the sink, Kenny. Teabag's in the sink. I love that. Some of the classic stories that went on going for Goldbridge that will never... Oh, he's done it again. It's a lovely cross. It's just a little bit too high for Varane. Oh, and again, another flicked header. Oh, just good defending by Denmark then, but you can't argue with the quality of the cross that came in from the set piece there. Some good questions coming here. It doesn't make sense because it's only shots out of the box going over. Crosses aren't overhit. Diagonals aren't misplaced. Passes in general not overhit, says Matthew. And Harry says, I meant, can you sing Land Down Under? Thanks. I've done that one, haven't I, Harry? Still fed up about the result yesterday, says Darren. Even reckon we'd have struggled against Saudi Arabia that got beat. No chance later in the competition, says Darren. The ball is not normal like any other. It has a web-like design inside which holds the so-called chip. I also think it might affect the ball movement now, says Ayanda. There was a good question there that was in the general chat. It wasn't a super chat. Mbappé masterclass, says Dan Griffiths. Where's your biscuit, says Lucas. I've already had 3 malted milks today. Chocolate malted milks. Oh, I like malted milks. They're nice, if you know what they are. If you know, you know. But no, somebody did say in the chat a minute ago, do you think that the 0-0s will suddenly just dry up? It may just be, coincidence. It's like getting, 5 hot days in England in a row in the summer. Or snow, sometimes it just happens every now and again. It could be an every 5th World Cup phenomenon that you just get a load of goals or you get a load of 0-0s. I don't think they're going to dry up. I hope we don't break the record. I'd be very happy if we didn't get 7 0-0s and it just stayed at 5 or 6. But we've had 5 0-0s, and I suspect we probably will break the record at some point because there's still another. We've still got about another 30-something games to go, haven't we? So I suspect we will have some more 0-0s. I hope not. But the surprising thing about the 0-0s is that the group stage of any tournament is normally the exciting bit because teams play a little bit looser. Of course, once you hit the knockouts, it becomes a little bit cagey, a little bit pragmatic. So I would imagine that you get more 0-0s in the knockouts potentially, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't think this will be a 0-0. And another wonderful cross by Dembele. Of course, they've got some very, very good players defensively. Anderson, especially, I really like him for Denmark. I think he's been very impressive for Fulham and Crystal Palace. That's a corner as well. It was a very good header. He did really well there, Anderson. Should have been a corner. Wasn't given. It's classed as 0-0, yes, Ansel. It's classed as 0-0 if it goes to extra time and penalties. I don't know whether it's classed as 0-0 if it's 0-0 after 90 in the knockout and it goes to extra time and someone wins 1-0. I don't know whether that gets classed as a 0-0 or not. But as I said, the record is 7. What a lovely cup of tea. Mark, what do you think of my Serbia, and did anyone impress you? Nemanja, I don't think your tournament started yet. I feel like Serbia, I think Brazil was a very difficult game for you. I don't think you played your natural formation. I think you played a little bit, pragmatic, defensive, because you were playing Brazil. I think we'll learn more about Serbia in the second game. I don't think Serbia will be the dark horse that some people think. I just don't. I don't think Denmark will either. But that doesn't mean they won't be. Lovely little flick by Giroud there. And Varane in quickly. Mark, here's a fact. England have not beaten USA in any World Cup games, says Connor. Thanks for that. I've got no issue with United States. I know a lot of people yesterday, weirdly, were trying to stoke up a rivalry with the United States and be like, it's not soccer, and people do that. I think it's so 2017. I think that type of content style is just silly now. We're all adult enough and educated enough at football to be able to, have a conversation about football without it being, trying to wind up people based on their nation. But each their own. Some people enjoy that. I've got nothing but respect for USA. I thought they were very good against Wales for an hour, and I really enjoyed the way they played in that game. I didn't really enjoy the way they played against England when it was going on, but in fairness, they played really well. They were the better team. And, I think USA are the best team in England's group. Footballing team. I think they play the best football. They certainly play the style of football I like the most. They are energetic. They are well organised. They look to play the forward pass. I just think they lack a bit of a cutting edge. They're very similar to... it's like Ansel says, they don't get the goals when they need it. And Canada against Belgium were the better team, but they didn't get the goals when they should have done. And I think there's a similarity, and Canadians and Americans won't like it, but as a neutral observer, I think there's a similarity between your two teams. You're very exciting, you're very good to watch, you're very well organised, you are very energetic, you do look to play expansive football, you look to play vertically instead of side to side or backwards, but there is an issue with scoring goals at the moment. Now, that might change, but I'm looking forward to... It's a shame, actually, England and Wales and United States and Iran are on at the same time, because I would like to do, I would like to watch those games individually instead of at the same time. But I hope United States do qualify. I think, you want the better teams in the World Cup. You want to praise the teams that play the better football. I'm not normally a fan of France, but what? He's got to book it. He's got to book him. He might even give him a red. He's going to give him a booking. Mbappé would have been straight through. Christensen will take a yellow card here. I didn't realise what a great ball this was from Griezmann. I thought he was trying to slip Giroud through, who was sprinting with the centre-backs. But Mbappé was there. And I'm not so sure that Mbappé wouldn't have been away here. It's a brave referee to say that there were two defenders there with him, because Mbappé is rapid. Let's watch this back. What a ball. No, he ain't. Them defenders aren't catching him. That's a red. That's a red. Ref's got that wrong. That's a red. No way those defenders are catching Mbappé. You need to know the game there, mate. You don't know the game. You don't know the game. You don't know the game. That's a red. Jacko is saying it's not a red. Mate, it's definitely a red if you know Mbappé. Those centre-backs are too far away. They might be level with him. He's knocking that 20 metres in front of him and he's through. That's a one-on-one. That ref's a prat. He's got that completely wrong. Any normal player, I think the centre-backs are going to catch up. But another brilliant cross and a great header by, I think, Rabiot. But no, I think Denmark have got away with that. Should have been a red. He's through on goal. It's a red card. I don't know how anybody's arguing with it. If you know Mbappé, he ain't getting caught there. But I can see why the ref has given a yellow. I think in normal circumstances you'd think the defenders might get across, but he ain't getting caught there. James says you've got to treat every player the same. No, you haven't. Of course you haven't. You've got to. No, that's nonsense. You don't treat every player the same. You treat the incident as the incident. And if a quick player is running through the middle, you should know that. We'll do a poll. Not getting into any arguments. For me, it's a red. Red, yes or no. Get your poll going. Very impressed with France so far. Denmark are doing well, but very impressed with France. If it's Giroud running through, it's a yellow. Because he ain't getting away from those defenders. If it's Mbappé running through, it's a red. You are, I agree with that previous comment, shouldn't you treat all players the same? But, you know, this ain't school sports day. Not everyone's getting first prize if they come last. It's a game of circumstance. And if you know the game, a quick player running through the middle, I think it's a red. Put it this way. The best way to think about it is like this. If Christensen doesn't pull him down, what happens? And I would bet any money Mbappé goes through one-on-one. I don't know whether he scores, but he gets a shot on goal. He's been deprived of that. So therefore, he's been deprived of a goal scoring opportunity. So it's a red. I'll give, you know, I'm all for the opinion, but I'm just telling you why. I'm giving you the detail. If Christensen doesn't pull him down, I'm 100% certain that Mbappé is running away from those defenders and getting a shot against Schmeichel. So therefore, he's been deprived of a goal scoring opportunity. And as a referee, I would know that. And I probably would have gone to VAR. I probably would have said to them, I need to look at that on VAR because I think that he's getting away. That's probably what I would have done. I've played the game. Nobody's catching Mbappé there. I've played the game. Christensen, that's a red. Martinez ain't catching Mbappé, and neither's Anthony or Anderson. I've played the game. That's a red card. Got to say, very impressed with France again. Giroud just took a foul here and a yellow card. So 2 yellow cards for Denmark. Very impressed. Very impressed. Very impressed by what, can I just say, this community is brilliant. Whether I'm doing the watch-alongs or watching the studio ones and reading the chat, I've got to give you a lot of respect. We've had some really good football conversation, and I do respect the fact that it's 50-50 on the red card or yellow card. Mark, you may know the game, but I've played the game and it's a yellow, says Matthew Holman. I've already explained to you, Matthew. If you disagree, that's absolutely fine, but like most people who don't have an argument, you don't have an argument as to why it's not a red card. You're just saying it's not, which is not an argument in life, mate. You have to give a bit of a detail, which is what I've done. I'm absolutely sure that Mbappé would run through and have a shot on goal. Therefore, he's been deprived of a goal-scoring opportunity, and therefore it's a red card. That's my explanation. What's yours? What do you think about Denmark, Mark? Very good team. Very well organised. I think their issue is, and I go back to the Euros, when we beat them, didn't we beat them with a penalty, Sterling, in the semis? I think they don't score enough goals when it really matters. And that's always going to be a problem. Fan of green or matcha tea, Mark, says Jonathan. No. And Amir says, Mark, you have to say it's a red or not, whether it's Mbappe or Maguire going through. Your decision can't depend on ability. I've played the game. No, you're wrong, Amir. Sorry. You're wrong. And I'm sure everybody can give you 100 reasons why you're wrong. You don't referee the game as it's robots. You referee the game as what it is. Like, it's like that red card that Thiago Silva should have got against Crystal Palace when he handled the ball and Ayew was there. Like, if that's Harry Maguire, he's never getting away. But Ayew is going to get through on goal, and it should have been a red. So you have to referee the game based on the physics of the player. You can't. Of course you can. With that logic, offside for Mbappé would be a yard back because he would cruise through. I don't agree with different standards for different players. I do, Peanuts. Anyway, we're going to move on because it's a very 50-50 vote on this, and therefore I've learnt in life that when it's 50-50, no one's going to back down, so we move on. What do you think about the Poland win, says Camille? Very good win for Poland. I was disappointed for Saudi Arabia. I thought they played so well against Argentina that they would be able to take that into Poland, but it doesn't bode well for Argentina that Poland can beat Saudi Arabia. Although, look, Argentina could have been 2-0 up, couldn't they? So it looks like being a very tight group, that. I am doing Argentina at 7 o'clock, Ivan, yeah. So we do this one. I'm going to have a nice Chinese takeaway in between the two games, and then we get back at it, yeah. And I'll say this now. Argentina have got to beat Mexico. I'd say if they draw, they're in big shit. If they lose, they're out, really. I can't see them going through. In fact, if they lose, they can't go through, can they? Because Mexico would have 4 points and Poland already have 4 points, so they would be out. Do you think Argentina and Germany will go out? I think Germany are gone. I do think Germany are gone. Well, I think Germany are gone. If Japan beat Costa Rica tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, they'll have 6 points. I don't think Germany are going to get 6 points. So, yeah, I think they're gone. Amir says, by your argument, referees should research statistics on each starting lineup. Then you also have age of form injuries. That can't be fair. Amir, I think you're taking it to a completely wrong level here. Completely wrong level. If I'm refereeing a game and I see Kylian Mbappé running through between two centre-backs who are 5 metres away from him but level, I'm sending him off. I'm sending Christensen off because I know Kylian Mbappé is fast and he's going to run through because I watched the game. That's my argument. If you don't agree with that and you think that, well, he's level with two defenders, so he can't be, but he's always got to be level because otherwise he could be offside. Look, we're going to agree to disagree. I get what you're saying, but I completely disagree with it. For me, I would have given a red card and we're just going round and round and round. And what you're now trying to do is change my opinion with your opinion. And you can't do that in life. I've made my opinion. I've explained my opinion. I'm not going to change it. And your opinion is not going to change my opinion. I respect your opinion. I disagree with it. You disagree with mine. Let's move on and watch a game of football. My argument has always been, I know for a fact that Kylian Mbappé is going to run through on goal and have a chance on goal, and it's a goal-scoring opportunity, and therefore it's a red card. And I think if he'd given a red, we'd be having the same debate now, but half of us would say, I completely agree with it. That's brilliant refereeing because there's no one catching Mbappé. I see your point as well, Mark. All good, respect, says Amir, and I respect yours completely. I do. I completely respect Amir, and I completely respect anybody who says no yellow. No, it is a yellow. I'm not saying it's 100% wrong. I'm just saying, in my opinion, and maybe we'll see it back at half time, there ain't no way Kylian Mbappé is getting caught. Never in a million years. Just signed on. Board marching. Durant, thank you very much. But look, on the game, we've had half an hour. Denmark, I think, are defending very well. But they're offering nothing going forward, are they? Here's Mbappé. Look at that pace. Cross comes in. Koundé hits it. Oh, blocked. They're knocking on the door. They're knocking on the door. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. We've got two fantastic games for you tonight. Argentina, Mexico at 7 o'clock and France, Denmark here. I mean, look, I don't like looking at it. That's what she said. I don't like looking at it, but the world rankings in football, I think, are a load of shite. But interestingly enough, we have got This is, according to FIFA rankings, the 4th best team in the world, France, against the 10th best team in Denmark. And then tonight, we've got the 3rd best team in the world, Argentina, against the 13th best team in the world with Mexico. Interestingly, USA are ranked 16 in the world. If that is interesting. And Switzerland are 15th. So Switzerland have won a game. USA are doing quite well. I don't think the rankings don't reflect that they're not bad teams. I'm having a Chinese tonight. Yeah, I mean, if anyone, we were a week ago, a week ago we were about 15 grand into our charity stream, weren't we? And I had a Chinese last week during my stream, but because I was streaming, I didn't really get to enjoy it. So I was saying to Mrs. Goldbridge today, I'd love to have a Chinese tonight that I can actually sit and enjoy. So I did have one last week. I had it live on the stream, but the reason Christensen pulls him back is because it's Mbappé. So if the player can make that call, so can the ref, says 3-minute record events. Thank you very much for the super chats. Mark, please make I've played the game hoodies. Thank you very much, STR. And my best friend had life-threatening surgery and is recovering. All these streams have helped him both, man. His name is Bronco and he's a Doberman, says Sean Atwood. Rest up, Bronco. Hope you're doing well. Chow mein or chop suey, says Melps. I think we're having chow mein. Yeah, chow mein. There's Griezmann into Mbappé. This game's been good. It does need a French goal. Denmark have got stuck in a rut of being the defensive side, trying to counter, and France are the team trying to attack. Lovely play into Griezmann. Goes for the shot with his feet. I think France are in the groove at the moment. They are in the groove, aren't they? France, there's just something quite immaculate about what they do. They're passing, they're crossing, they're shooting. They are in the groove at the moment. I mean, could they peak too soon or will they get better? But I do feel like there's a lot of consistency in what they're doing. If it was Giroud, then foul wouldn't be made, says Manchester United. Here we go. Koundé, can he put a good cross in? He can. And again, I mean, Denmark are having to defend really well, and they're more than capable. They've got good centre-backs, but here's Rabiot. Went for the shot. My eyes are glued to Varane to make sure he doesn't get injured, says Daniel Kirk. Great to see him back. I did feel for him when he went off against Chelsea for United that he wouldn't be playing in this World Cup. Great to see him back. Durant, thank you for the super chat. 33 minutes gone. As 0-0 goes, I've quite enjoyed it. HDB says Anderson is a top 4 standard centre-back. Very good. I do like him. He's very good. But it's been a good game. I do think a French goal would open the game up a little bit. Denmark, as I said, they've fallen into the defence against attack routine, trying to counter on the break. I just don't think Denmark are scoring enough goals. Anthony said that Mark Clattenburg on American broadcast says he's too far away from the goal for a red. What? As a high-level youth ref, I'm giving a red in a big game. A coach would rip me to shred if it's only a yellow. I don't think the distance from the goal makes any difference, mate. I mean, that's a crap argument. I mean, my argument to that would be, right, it's the last minute of the game. France are winning 1-0. Denmark have a corner. They need to draw to stay in the World Cup. They send Kasper Schmeichel through. Good shot by Denmark on the break there. I thought he'd scored for a minute. Fair play. Let me just play this back and I'll come back to that. Yeah, Denmark break well here. This is what they're set to do on the break. Little 1-2. Good angled run. Onside. Gets his shot off. Lloris has got the front post covered, but just wide of the front post. Good break by Denmark. And Lloris is never really troubled. But, yeah, I mean, so Clattenburg has said it can't be a red on Mbappé because he's too far away from the goal. My argument to that would be Denmark are going to go out of the World Cup. Last minute of the game, it's 1-0 to France. They're going to go out Denmark. They send everybody up for the corner. Lloris punches it away. And Kylian Mbappé is sprinting after it with Christensen running alongside him. And they're halfway in the French half with 3/4 of the pitch to go. And Mbappé gets ahead of Christensen and pulls him down. It's a red card. You can't say he's too far away from goal because he's clearly gonna get there and just sprint through. So I don't think distance from goal is the problem. Giroud, gets up well. I think he's given a yellow because the defenders are level with Mbappé. That's why I think he's given it. I don't think it's distance from goal. I think they're level with him. And I think that's what everybody else is saying. Mark, hope you're well, mate. Have you changed your mind who's winning the World Cup, says DJ. No, I've always flipped between Brazil and France. I couldn't make my mind up. Who do you think is going to win the World Cup, everyone? Let me know in the chat. I've always been stuck between Brazil and France. And I've even done a couple of preview shows where I've said Brazil in one and France in the other. I'd love to see a Brazil-France final. I think that would be amazing if they keep playing the way they are. But I did flip to Brazil a little bit more when Benzema was missing. But having seen the tournament now, I think it's hard. I think it's really hard. I'd love some other teams to come into it. I'd love Spain to keep it up, and I'd love. Obviously, I'd love England to do well, but really, I think it's Brazil and France. Yeah. But we need more than two. I'd love another. I'd love a World Cup where you've got 4 or 5 teams that look like they can win it. But at the moment, yeah. Few people mentioning Spain. I'd love Portugal to go through the gears, yeah. I can't. I think even if England play to their best, they can't live with the best teams because we don't even pick our best team. I don't think England pick their best team. I don't think Southgate's capable of picking his best team. In the last 15 minutes against the United States, here we go. That's got to be a foul. No, he's not giving it. In the last 15 minutes against the United States, I thought that their defence looked tired. And I'd have just put Marcus Rashford through the middle. Give Maguire and Stones the option to ping a ball into the channel for Rashford to chase onto. And we keep Harry Kane on, who's dropping deep and slow. I just couldn't believe that. And we already know about Foden. I personally would have brought Trent on for Trippier as well. You've got misuse of really good players. So you look at the French side and the Brazil side, and they're picking their best players. They're picking their best players around the system the manager wants to play. Whereas Southgate's picking his favourites around the negative system that he wants to play. Lovely ball into Dembele. Could be offside. He's got a lot of space on the wing. Crosses it. Ball over the bloody bar again. Lovely play by Dembele. And Mbappé, I mean, it might not be the ball's fault here, but I think Dembele might have been offside. Offside or not, the quality of the cross and the quality of the movement from Mbappé, again, is absolutely brilliant. And Mbappé should hit the target from there. Ball went to space, says Donut. I'm telling you, I'm convinced there's something wrong with that ball. I've just tweeted it there. It'll wind a load of people up. It's a bit. I feel like I'm a bit like a. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. You know, I'm not flat Earth or anything like that. I don't get involved in that. But I think my obsession with the World Cup ball is winding people up on Twitter. So I'll probably do it even more. I keep tweeting about the ball. Jack Rankin, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. I've got 5 minutes to go to half time here. Fed up of hearing Southgate saying we played well from the back, says Joel. I don't think we did play well from the back. I thought Maguire and Stones were probably our two best players, but we were playing against the 4-4-2, and they were. I think Maguire and Stones, certainly John Stones, and Harry Maguire can do it as well. I think they needed to carry the ball from the defence. You know, make the extra man in the midfield, because Rice couldn't and Bellingham couldn't get the ball off them and then find a player, because the system that the United States played didn't allow it. So I think your defenders have got to carry the ball into the midfield and force the United States to break their system. But Southgate probably gets excited about a clean sheet, doesn't he? My man of the match yesterday was probably Tyler Adams or Muzza. Chad says the ball's got Healy in a minute. No chance Mbappé misses that shot normally, says Chad. Thanks for the super chat, Chad. Griezmann's playing quite well. We're only 100 subscribers away from 840,000, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Oh, he's going to give yellow card to... Kunde for the 50-50. This might get reviewed. Let's have a look. No. He has hurt him, but it's not a deliberate act. Kane is too individual, cares more about his records, as Alex. They might review this as a red, you know. I agree with Bad Addy. He might review this. It is a nasty collision. I don't think it's reckless. Obviously, intent doesn't really matter, but it is nasty. I think it's a genuine attempt to get the ball. But we've seen reds for this. Remember Wan-Bissaka? You know, there was nothing malicious about it at all, but... No, he's gone to kick the ball and he stood on his leg. I've played the game. You can't give a red card for that. He's actually gone to kick the ball and his foot's landed on the defender's player. These things can happen. I don't think it's going to get reviewed. FA Cup second round tomorrow. Bloody hell, I forgot that they're playing. The lower leagues are still playing. Is there any US players you'd like United to sign, says Jack? Well, I think Adams plays for Leeds. He's a good player. That Muzza looks like a good player as well. That's probably it. Those two have been the two that have impressed me the most. Oz says, tonight was my Australia's first World Cup clean sheet since 1974 and a proud nation tonight, and I know you love a stat. Well done to the Aussies. I'm glad that you're getting a celebratory result. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Well done. I think we're all happy for you. Apart from... who did you beat? Tunisia, yeah. Yeah, they're not going to be happy for you. That's football. Anthony says, it's a beautiful argument when it comes to the card. Too many grey areas in officiating, especially at the youth level. How are these kids supposed to learn the game if the rules aren't cut and dry? I think I think that's a beautiful chat, Anthony, because I think at any level, football's too subjective. And we either accept it's subjective or we apply the rules. And I think there's a bit of a halfway house, because handball, offside, red cards, you know, well, offside's not subjective, it's on or off, isn't it? But handball is subjective. Fouls in the box is subjective. red cards are subjective, and it's too much based on opinion, and you'll always get ex-referees or the association of referees backing their referee because that's what they're going to do, but it is too subjective. Chris says, imagine aiming top bins in a penalty shootout with that ball. I'll tell you what, Chris makes a good point. We'll have to wait and see when we get our first penalty shootout whether there's any penalties skied. I mean, Mbappe's just put a cross in there, mad high, compared to how he's kicked the ball. Only 3 minutes added on. When there's been a few injuries as well. I think FIFA have told him not to do mad add-ons at the end of the first half. We're only 50 subscribers away from 840,000, so please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Sam the Man says, I love the streams, Mark. Much better than listening to the commentary. There's a FIFA article saying how this World Cup's ball travels much faster through the air than any other, says Sam the Man. Well, you know me, I'm convinced that there is an issue with the balls. Job says, do you think Mbappé plays better for France than he does for PSG? I'd have to watch PSG to know that, mate. I ain't never watching PSG play in the French league, so I only ever watch PSG if they're playing in a decent Champions League game, so I can't really answer that. Here is Mbappé. Sort of went for a cross shot there. Southgate needs to watch Goldbridge ball and to learn how to move the ball from back to the front, not passing sideways, says Dennis. Well, I think he just needs to watch any fucking football that's decent. I mean, Southgate needs to watch the United States back and see how they approach the game, basically. Because it's bloody laughable, man. That's half time. That's half time. Let's have a look at the stats. At half time, where are you? Take, pause. Let's go. So, statistics at half time. Look at that. Would you look at that? Don't tell me Denmark are dark horses. They're bloody defending and counter-attacking. They're terrified of France. Let's be honest. They're defending very well. I do like Denmark, but there's a definite difference in quality. 50-50 possession, but 13 shots to 2, 3 shots on target to 0. I think Denmark remind me of Denmark in the Euros. They're a good side, but they don't really have any attacking threat unless it's on the counter. So, very impressed with France again against the good Denmark team. I'm not surprised it's 0-0. Denmark do defend very, very well. Good keeper, good back five. But I think France are the team that are trying to win this game at the moment, and they look most likely to do it. I'd like to see France score to open the game up a bit. Generation gaps in how people ref. As someone who played in state cups in the US and ref them, most of the rules are constructed to be subjective, and that's a massive problem, says Anthony. Mark, the only way to fix the World Cup balls is by Manscaped, says Atoro. Thank you very much for those super chats. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're very close to 840k. And don't forget that OneFootball, you can scan the QR code in the top left or go through the link in the description. Download it for free. OneFootball app where you can get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news, stats, etc. It's available for free on all platforms. Give it a go. Fantastic app, OneFootball. Thank you to them sponsoring our stats carousel, which is stuck on the match stats there as we hit half time. Look, again, I've got to say that this was a game I was looking forward to. I thought France was so good against Australia. The amount of quality crosses they were putting into the box, they were just too good for Australia. And big shout out to Australia today for winning and made up for them. Brilliant result. But there's a difference between France and Australia. And France went through the groups the other night, through the gears the other night. Today, I was looking forward to it because Denmark are a good side. They are a good side. They are many people's dark horses. But I think France have shown that quality again, and I'm really pleased about that, because unlike England last night, who after a good performance against Iran just fell off, France have kept that from minute 1 to half time. France have kept that intensity and attitude and tempo and desire to stick to their principles of the game against Australia, and stick to the plan. And that plan is quite clearly to attack and put crosses into the box. And Mbappé should have scored. Ball went way over the bar. They've had a couple of good saves from Schmeichel, one with his feet from Griezmann. I think there was another one as well. Blocks. Denmark have defended really well. I think France have attacked well. So I'm impressed with France. And Denmark are Denmark. Maybe Denmark will go deep into the tournament. I don't think they're going to win it. I don't think they'll make the semi-final. I don't think Denmark have an attacking threats. I think they are defensively good. I think their midfield is good. But they just don't have anything in the front three that makes me think that's the differential. That's what makes them different, in my opinion. So, I think France look like they're going to be the real deal, to be honest with you. Griezmann's played really well, Andre, saying Griezmann man of the match so far. Yeah, he has played well. Surprisingly, I think I did feel that, and I even said it against Australia, I felt that Deschamps was almost a higher level Southgate, because he has got nepotism. He does have favourites, and I felt that Griezmann in the team was a little bit unfair. Maybe there was other options, but he's been really, really good. And I think their front four is very good. I mean, obviously you're going to miss Benzema, but Giroud is Giroud. Very... why is Calvert-Lewin modelling stuff on the telly for Braun? Does he even play football anymore? Should be at a bloody World Cup, mate. I think Giroud is Giroud. He's just massively consistent, isn't he? Mbappé is one of the best players in the world. Ousmane Dembele is fit, and when he's fit and playing like that, he's a very good player. Griezmann's playing well. Tchouaméni and Rabiot complement that team very, very well, and their back four is very strong. So I think France are set up to be a team that's going to be there or thereabouts. And as I say, I've had them as a favourite from the start. Some people think that they're going to be the World Cup curse, but it doesn't look like it at the moment. Antonio says Rabiot's played well for France so far. In Juventus, from what I've seen, he's in a hole in midfield, but of course Griezmann was the best so far. That happens as well. Club football does go out the window, and when you're playing for your national team, some people just, Paul Pogba for France, and France do have. I'm a United fan, so I've heard Pogba over the years talk about France, and I suspect it's probably the same with other French players as well. They love playing for France. They love going to play for France. They love the international break. They love linking up with each other. They have a really good chemistry, relationships, and Pogba for France was different to Pogba for United. And look at Griezmann, look at Rabiot. They're not doing great for their club teams, but here they are in the World Cup playing for France, and they look really, really comfortable. So maybe that is a thing, that the way that they play for their countries, they're just able to express themselves and play to their potential. Is Goldbridge Ball coming back in your League 2? Says Rihan. It will be back, yes. Thank you very much for the super chat there. Right, just looking at some of the half-time action, I really want to focus in on this red card. I don't know whether they'll do it on the UK coverage, because I just don't rate mainstream media coverage, and they may not even highlight it as an issue. We spent a good period of time in the first half talking about whether it was a red card on Mbappé or not. I know a lot of you think it wasn't. I thought it was. I'll be very interested if we get to see it at half time. I played the game. It's not a red card. I'd have caught. If I'm Christensen, I'd have got up and caught Mbappé. That's not a red card. But we'll see if they show it. Obviously, I'm not going to delve into whether it is or it isn't a red card. Suffice to say, I felt it was. A lot of people think it isn't. But Rabiot's been on it this season. They've just shown some clips of Mbappé at the moment. Like I said, I predicted this. UK mainstream media wouldn't know their arse from their elbow, and probably the biggest talking point of the half, and they haven't even spoken about it yet. They're just doing highlights of Mbappé, but I certainly think it was the most debatable point in the half, and it doesn't look like they're going to show it. Oh, here we go. Watch Mbappé here. He's at full space. He's at full pace. Yeah, they ain't catching him. I'm sorry. They ain't. He's been he's been sprinting for 20 metres by the time that ball gets through. Oh, well. Do you think it'll end up 0-0? I think that... Do I think it'll end up at 0-0? I think that there's a chance it could end up 0-0. Do you think Koundé's was a red card, Mark? I'm just watching it here. No. No. I don't think it's a red card because I think what Koundé does is he goes to kick the ball, and when you're running, your foot... Anybody who runs... Right, let's run a poll on this. We were 50-50 on the Mbappé one. Koundé, red card, yes or no? We'll do that in the poll. Let's do a poll on that. Was it a red card for Koundé? Now, when you run to the shops to get yourself a Mars bar or catch a bus, or, you know, you're walking down the stairs, you don't slide. Your foot goes in the air. Your left foot, your right foot, your left foot, your right foot. If you've got 2 feet. Some people don't. But if you have got 2 feet, you go left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. And when you walk, you're on the ground and then you're in the air. You're on the ground, you're in the air. What goes up must come down. Gravity, yeah? So anybody who's saying it should be a red card for Koundé, I don't really understand the rules if it is, because he's running and his foot's in the air. And as he goes to kick the ball, his foot's in the air. And as he misses the ball, his foot comes down. His foot has to go on the grass. You know, it has to. So when his foot hits the grass, unfortunately, that's where the Denmark player's foot is. He's just basically gone to kick the ball. And in his stride, as he puts his foot down, it lands on the Denmark player. That cannot be reckless. It is just a natural movement of a player running. So... it's not reckless, it's not deliberate, so for me it's a yellow card. You can have a situation where somebody breaks their leg and it's not even a yellow card. So, no, for me you could argue it's not even a yellow, but I think you've got to give something. But I certainly wouldn't have thought it was a red, in my opinion. But what I would say, in the modern game, that I wouldn't have been surprised if it had been reviewed as a red card. I'm glad it wasn't, because I don't see what he can do. But, you know, I would liken it to this. If Kylian Mbappé in the second half is running through one-on-one and Schmeichel comes running out and, you know, they both go for the ball and Schmeichel gets there first and Kylian Mbappe's running leg lands on Schmeichel's knee and, you know, injures him, is that a red? No. Not if he's just running normally. If you see in the way that he runs, he makes eye contact and stands on him, that's a red. But I don't think a normal running action is a red card. 64% of you say no. But in the modern game, I wouldn't have been surprised, which is why we're obviously discussing it. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're really close to 340k. Bottom right-hand corner to do it. Of course, we've got the second half of this game, and then we've got really the first of 2 games at 7 o'clock tonight and tomorrow night that could lead to us losing a big club, i.e. Argentina against Mexico. I think if Argentina don't win tonight, they will be heading out. I think they will. Martinez is playing. Hopefully, he's going to pick Enzo Fernandez as well. It's the Messi show, but it's probably Messi's last World Cup as well. Certainly Messi as a force, it's his last World Cup, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. But of course, they have to win this game. They've got to win this game, and if they don't win this game, I think they're going to be heading out. Massive opportunity for Mexico, and we'll have to wait and see what they can do. But you know, it's a huge game, and of course, let's not forget here. Denmark, on this current game, if they were to lose, I'm just looking at the group stage here. If Denmark were to lose, they'd put themselves in a situation where they're struggling as well, wouldn't they? They've only got 1 point, Denmark. 1 point for Denmark, and they've got to play Australia, who have got 3 points. So, yeah, they need a result. They need a result. I'm just watching Christmas ads. I don't know what I'm doing there. Let me just get this stats carousel running around. Don't forget the stats carousel is sponsored by OneFootball, fantastic app where you can get all your latest breaking football news, etc. As you can see, Kunde has got the yellow card on there. That updates as it's going round. You can download OneFootball through this QR code or the link in the description. It's free. It's available on all platforms. We're about to get ready to go for the second half here. And I've played the game, says Doc Boy. Thank you very much. 62% of you said it shouldn't have been a red card, but 38% of you are very harsh. You would give me a red card for that. Generation, I've done that from Anthony. Thanks for the super chats. Colbridge only does 0-0s now, says Straw. I'm really hoping that I'm really hoping that we're not going to get a Ansel, you've just gone and got yourself blocked. What a shame. You were making some good comments as well. You know why? You're not really. You're on a timeout. It's a real shame, actually. I don't want us to have any more 0-0s. I don't want this World Cup to be known as the most boring World Cup. The record is 7 0-0s in a World Cup, and we've had 5 already. So we don't want any more 0-0s. Vin says it's a valid point about the ball. Are they given the same one to practice with? I reckon there's going to be a dip in pass accuracy when the Premier League returns, says Vin. And France are going to win 1-0, says Danush. I don't think this will be a 0-0. I don't think this will be a 1-0. I think that we will get a French goal at some point. Maybe a Danish goal. But yeah, I do think we'll get a goal. As you can see, a couple of yellow cards for the Danish as well. They had one chance on the break for Cornelius where he smashed it well wide. But they need to do more, Denmark. But I think Denmark, because they drew that first game against Tunisia, they're sort of in this category of not wanting to lose. And sometimes that's a good thing, but if they concede, they're going to have to start playing more offensively, aren't they? A point's not a terrible result for France, but I don't think they'll want a point. I think they're going to want to go out there and express themselves and win, aren't they? So I hope we get a goal in the second half. And I think for the good of the game, it'd be better if France got it. That kit is so good. That French kit is so nice. It's a shame it's French. You can't pick your colours though, can you? I mean, it's not like England could start wearing navy blue and gold. People would be like, what are you doing? You get your colours. That's what you get. Who do you think's better, Mitrovic or Tony, says Jacob? I'll run a poll if you want. Do you want a poll? We've had a substitution here anyway. Cornelius is coming off, and I think Braithwaite is coming on. Yeah. On a yellow card. Wants to change things up a little bit. There we go. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're nearly at 40k. 840k. And ref's just about to start this off. And we're off. There we go. Second half. Get the timer going. Lovely stuff. Are there any similarities between Gakpo and a young Depay? Both promising young PSV stars that could end up at United? Or is Gakpo a different player? Says the cream of the crop. I think from what I've seen of Gakpo and Memphis Depay, they're very different players, yeah. Gakpo's a bit more... he's more of a goal scorer. He's obviously taller. I don't see any similarities apart from the ones that you've said that they played for PSV. I'm hyped for Spain, Germany, because I think Spain's the better squad, but Germany is a pain to play when they feel like they need to win, says Antonio. Yeah, massive game. Game of the tournament, that. Spain-Germany. Germany can't even afford to draw if Japan win at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Here's Dembele down the right-hand side. He's going to go for Mbappé here, surely. Yeah, here's Mbappé. Little dink. Rabiot. And Denmark clear it. They're playing well, Denmark. Defensively, they're playing well. Do the poll. Okay. Either or. Mitrovic, Tony. There you go. Get your votes in the chat. Thanks, Logan. Hope you're well as well. Thing TV says no matter what happens in this game, Australia will have a tough game against Denmark. Yeah, and I think that even if Denmark were to lose to France, there's still a good chance that they'll qualify, isn't there? Because they would just need to beat Australia to put themselves on 4 points and leave Australia on 3. Can Denmark do anything? They're on the attack here. Cross comes into the box. Lloris leaves it. Goes for a goal kick. What we're looking at capacity-wise? Any empty seats? Are they blue seats or is that French fans? I think the seats are blue, aren't they? Yeah, there's quite a few. I think that's probably corporate though. Yeah, I can see a few. I mean, I don't know. Well, actually, I can see quite a few. Japan will win tomorrow if Son is fit. Up Japan, says Dieter. Well, Son won't be playing for Japan, mate. Rabiot, the next Zidane man, is an outrageous form, says Chuck. Mark, Diego Simeone or Jose Mourinho, which is the most defensive manager? I think it's Simeone. I think. Oh, here we go. Denmark have started off this half quite well. Switch it. No. I think Mourinho's played more offensive football in his time. So I'd say Simeone's more defensive. Here's Mbappé, bit of space down the wing. Bit of space here. He's got 2 on him, but he's still got options as he looks up. Cross comes into Dembele. Another good cross, but Dembele's first touch was a bit heavy, and it's back with Kasper Schmeichel. Uh, 60% for Tony and 40% for Mitrovic, by the way. Thanks for that. Do you like Mason Mount, says Nag. I like Mason Mount, but I think it's safe to say that he probably shouldn't be starting for England. I do like Mason Mount. I don't think he's having a great season for Chelsea, and I don't think he's having a great season for a tournament for England. He's a huge favourite of Southgate's, and I think, this is why I'm so conflicted, because I do like Mason Mount. I think he's a really good footballer. But unfortunately, he's become a symbol of Southgateism and pragmatism and favouritism. And he shouldn't be starting ahead of Phil Foden, or even probably James Maddison if he's fit. But he is. Like, Maddison and Foden are better than Mount this season. And every manager can pick the team they want. But when you put performances in like yesterday and the performances England put in the summer, it's just weak management. That's what it is. Connor says, do you agree with the comms, etc., that say Mbappé is the best player in the World Cup? Or is this just FIFA cover star status talking? This is Connor. I there's no doubt that Mbappé is one of the world's best players, but I've got to be honest, I've not settled into the mindset that he's the best player in the World Cup. I haven't. I don't. He might be. He's certainly in the conversation, but I don't feel like Mbappé is the best player in the World Cup. I mean, it might just be comfy pair of slippers, but I still think Messi and Ronaldo carry more glamour. I mean, are they as good as Mbappé now? I don't know. Why would Neymar not be the best player in the World Cup? I think if Benzema was here, why would Benzema not be the best player in the World Cup? So I think there's... let's not forget Harry Maguire, says Josh Carter. Yeah, I think we've got a lot of good players in this World Cup, but I don't think there's one player in this World Cup that you go, they're the best player in the World Cup. I mean, there have been World Cups where you would say that. Zidane, Maradona, Messi and Ronaldo at different ones in the past, but I don't feel like Mbappé stands out as the best player in the World Cup. It may well be Mbappe's World Cup, but I don't feel like he is the best player in the World Cup. Stand out, no. I know what you mean. There are sometimes you have a World Cup and there is one player that is distinctively the best player in the World Cup, but I don't feel like that. Could Anthony be Brazil great like Ronaldo 9, says the Green with the Crop? I don't think Anthony's going to be that profile of a player, no. What a ball, but good Kasper Schmeichel there. Really good sweeper keeping because the ball by Dembele cut the Denmark defence apart and Mbappé would have been in, but very alert by Kasper Schmeichel. What a keeper Kasper Schmeichel is, by the way. I do think that has been a loss for Leicester at the start of the season, getting used to not having a leader like that at goalkeeper. I am doing the Argentina game at 7 o'clock, yes. Looking forward to it. Sam says it's a bit of a bore fest. I disagree, Sam. I think you can have a good 0-0. And I think this has been a good game. I think this is a knockout game for me, being played in the group stage. I was really happy that this game was being played second, because if it was playing third, they might both have already qualified, and then it really is a bore fest. But I think that this is an intriguing game where Denmark have defended well, and France are being challenged to break them down. Who do you think's played best at the World Cup so far then? Well, not everyone's played twice yet, so it's a bit unfair, but I felt for Brazil, Vinicius Junior was amazing. I thought Casemiro had a very good game as well. Obviously for France, I think Dembele and Griezmann and Mbappe have been very good. I think, as I said, Tyler Adams and Musa for United States have played well. But we've not had 2 games yet. I mean, Spain were very good against Costa Rica. You've got to give them that Germany game and see what people do there. There was an offside there. Hi Mark, I've just got back from the future and I won't spoil too much, but England reached the semis and Spain are losing finalists, Azud. Oh, there you go. Imagine if that's true. That's getting clipped. If England get to the semi-finals, it's 4 more years of Southgate. I mean, they might keep him if he gets to the quarterfinals. I mean, fucking hell. I mean, I think I'd get England to the quarterfinals. It's such an easy run. I think if we get knocked out in the quarterfinals, he's got to go. I just want him to go. I can't be... we're going to end up in a situation where Phil Foden becomes bloody Paul Scholes, doesn't he? Misused. Lovely turn by Mbappe here. It's a 3v2. He's still going. Good shot, but straight at the keeper. Lovely turn, though. Gets away from Anderson, who's no slouch, and he's lost him. that. It's that turn of pace, isn't it? To be fair, he's not going to beat Kasper Schmeichel from there. Another corner for France. Crossing's been very good this tournament. And then he puts in a shit one that doesn't beat the first man. Jinx. Richarlison's had a good start to the season, to the tournament as well. Who's this Kim Min Jae? He's his treble champ. Plays for South Korea and Napoli. Very good. What games am I doing tomorrow? I'd have to check. I know I'm doing the 7 o'clock, which is Germany-Spain. And I don't think... I wanted to do Japan at 10 o'clock. I really like Japan, but I don't think I'm doing Japan at 10 o'clock. So it'll either be Belgium, Morocco, or Croatia, Canada, which... I hope I'm doing Croatia, Canada, really, but, I mean, whatever. Whatever's down, I'll do. James says, thoughts on Souness saying he doesn't rate Giroud? Well, obviously, I don't know whether Souness has said that, so I can't comment on something that James might be making up. But first chat on this platform, this game being played very similar to England's game. Neymar, one of the most overrated players at the competition, says David Miller. Thank you very much, David, and welcome to the chat. I think Neymar's out till the knockout, isn't he? Because of his ankle. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's out longer than that, but I think apparently he's out. Here's Dembele. Nice ball into Mbappé. Tried the bit of skill, didn't work. I did see his ankle, Brett, Neymar's ankle, and it looked very swollen. I mean, he won't... I said this about Neymar. Lovely play by Giroud. Oh, not Giroud. Griezmann again. Way over the bar. Fucking great. Look, don't tell me there's something... What a take by Griezmann, right? He's in this position. There's no reason to smash that far over the bar. I've done it on Twitter again. That's two things I've seen in this game from Griezmann and Mbappé, where they've not just put it over the bar, they've skied it. They're playing rugby. And I just don't think that's natural. France have had 14 shots, 3 on target, and Denmark have had 2, both off target. I don't want Denmark to be a dark horse, to be honest. I want Eriksen to have a rest and their boring football to go out. They're very good. I do appreciate good defensive sides, but they've got nothing going forward, have they? Here's Mbappé. Nice ball. Lovely cut back. Goal, Mbappé! Get in. We needed that. We needed that. They deserve that. We needed a goal, and I think it needed to go to the French. It's a lovely bit of play. They are immaculate. The French connection are absolutely immaculate. Everything they do in this tournament so far looks so well constructed. Clinical, passing, weight of pass. Their finishing, obviously, has not been great, but that was... just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. They really impressed me against Australia, and they've really impressed me again today. Denmark have defended really, really well, but France have kept at it. They've kept going, and this is a lovely goal. Hernandez gives it into Mbappé, continues his run, slips him in, continues the run himself. Mbappé gets the 1-2, and then just passes it through. I think it does take a bit of a deflection, but there's nothing Kasper Schmeichel can do about that. And France have scored. I'm definitely warming to the French. Definitely warming to the French. And I never thought I would. France have never been a team I've wanted to do well, but they are actually very easy on the eye in the way that they're playing. Well done. No 0-0. No 0-0 as well. Come on. Giroud's coming off as well. So Denmark have got to open up a little bit now. They're looking good, France. I mean, you're almost at that point now where you start to think who's going to cause this French team a problem. Unless there's just a shock where they have a really bad game. There he is, Mbappé with the goal on his shoulder, look. Even on there it looks good, that kit. Who's going to cause France a problem? Brazil? Spain? Thuram's on. I was talking about Thuram today on the United Stand, actually. I was doing top 5 strikers available in January. So Thuram is really interesting. He's 25. He's the son of the right-back Thuram, who played for the famous French World Cup winning team in '98. He is his son. He plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach. I think he's got like 11 goals in 15 games this season. And he's out of contract in the summer. Now, Aston Villa have been looking at him, but I'm really interested to see what he can do with half an hour to go, because he is pure pace. And he's been in brilliant form, and he's out of contract in the summer. So he's one of those players that really could put himself in a great position if he can get involved in this French team in this World Cup. And if he's going to be the backup to Giroud, obviously the injury to Benzema could massively benefit him. And what a position to be in, coming on for a French side in the World Cup with half an hour to go, knowing that you're out of contract in the summer. Stuart says, how's the hangover from yesterday? Best watch along on the web, by the way. Think Southgate starts Rashford, Trent and Foden against Wales. Just Stuart, I hope so. I think he's got to make big changes, but I don't know that he will. Hi Mark, can you wish the UYBC senior men good luck in the November charity match? They really are a bunch of prats. There we go. Good luck to them in the charity match. Appreciate that from Lord Bizzle. Ken says, the French are all round on another level. My favourites to win and retain the World Cup. Bet you wish you signed Rabiot now, says Chris. No. Why? If we bought Rabiot, we wouldn't have got Casemiro. Here is Thuram. Referee says play on. Hello Mark, how are you? Can I ask you what your opinion on Vincent Kompany and his Burnley team is? Also, do you think they'll come back to annoy you, says Michael? I don't think they'll come back and annoy me in the way that they did with Deitch, because I think Kompany's got them playing decent. I've not really seen them. We'll watch them play United in a couple of weeks in the Carabao Cup and make our mind up then. I say a couple of weeks. It's 3 weeks on Tuesday, isn't it? Haaland or Mbappé? Mbappé has more to his game. Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. If I'd done this a few weeks ago, Haaland would have won it easy. I don't know whether we've hit 340k, by the way. 840k. Let me have a look. Yeah, Argentina tonight. I'm a bit nervous. I want Martinez to do well, of course. Yeah, I do think that I think there'll be. I think they really would have hoped that Saudi Arabia and Poland would have drawn. That's a lovely cross into the box there. Denmark could have scored. They've got to go. This, whatever you think about Denmark, and they've created next to nothing, they will attack now because they can't. They don't really want to lose, do they? So who wants to lose? But I think we'll see Denmark open up a bit now, and I think it's a clever move by Deschamps. I know he's had a lot of stick, but it's a clever move by Deschamps to take Giroud off, because suddenly France are going to counter. And Giroud obviously hasn't got that pace on the counter. They're not attacking as much. They want to invite the pressure from Denmark. So what Deschamps is doing, he said, look, let's drop a little bit. Let's invite a bit of pressure and let's hit them on the break and kill the game. But that invites Denmark. Good cross. They're going for it now. And that's the end of that. I don't know what happened there. Darren says, let's do a poll. Who has more dirty videotapes on Southgate, Mount or Sterling? Well, it's definitely not Foden, is he? I hate to think of Mbappé against Maguire. Man, that would be ugly, says Brian. Well, it wouldn't be Mbappé against Maguire, would it? It'd be Giroud against Maguire, which I think would be a good battle. Mbappé would be up against Trippier, and Dembele would be up against Luke Shaw. And I think that Luke Shaw played well last night. Goal! Denmark! 1-1! Unbelievable game of football. Unbelievable game of football. They've done nothing all game, and it's 1-1. What do you think about that then? What do you think about that? This is what makes me laugh about football. You can have a team that's defending all game and they concede. They have to go a little bit more on the front foot and suddenly they find they can score goals. And what will happen now? Denmark will go defensive again and it'll be down to France to get a goal. So Christensen scores from a corner. Nothing Lloris is going to do about that. Lands right on his head, a level with the 6-yard box. It's Anderson who gets the flick as well. What a player Anderson is, by the way. He's got to get him. I mean, I don't want to disrespect Crystal Palace, but I think he can play at a higher level than that. And it's 1-1, Denmark. Brave header by Christensen. Rabiot thought about trying to kick it. It would have been a high foot. And it's 1-1. There we go. Game on. I told you this game had come to life. French vulnerability at the back there. They did go a little bit deeper and invite a bit of pressure. The question is, do Denmark now try and play more on the front foot, or do they revert to what they've been doing for most of the game? And I think they will revert to doing what they've been doing for most of the game. Here's Dembele into the box. Loses the ball. Would you take Anderson at United, says Dazzo? Yes, I would. I think he's a very good player. Be interesting to see where he goes. Very close between Mbappé and Haaland in the poll, by the way. A few people mentioning like JRS there in the chat. Do you think that Saliba should be starting for France? They've got so many good centre-backs. You've got Varane. I mean, Koundé's playing at right back. Upamecano, Konate. Obviously Saliba. I think I don't watch enough of Bundesliga to know, but I would imagine that, you know, Deschamps is probably going with people that have got that more experience. I think Kimpembe's injured. I'm not 100% sure. I think Kimpembe might be injured. I mean, you've got to play Varane. Thank God we didn't get Rabiot. He's crap, says Julian. I think he's having a good tournament, to be fair. I'll tell you who's having a very good tournament. Tchouaméni as well. The development of him has been quite fantastic over the last year. From Monaco to Madrid to the, engine room of the French World Cup side. And remember, this is a French side that hasn't got... And I know it's a changing of the guard, but... If they were fit, Konate would probably... if they were fit, Kante would probably start. Pogba, Benzema. I don't think they miss any of those. I think they miss Benzema, but I don't think they miss Kante and Pogba. I predict Mexico to beat Argentina. I can't wait even. Can't wait. I've always liked Mexico. I've not watched them in this tournament yet. I didn't really watch the first game, if I'm absolutely honest. I had it on, but I wasn't really watching it. So I'm interested to see Mexico and what they can do, because that's a big game against Argentina. I just ordered one of them jumpers you have on the Black Friday deals. Love the content. Who's saying has an outside bet of winning the World Cup? Says Alexander. I don't think there is an outside chance of winning the World Cup. I don't think Denmark can win the World Cup. I don't think Uruguay can win the World Cup. I don't think Serbia can win the World Cup. I don't think England can win the World Cup. I think the World Cup will be won by France, Brazil, Spain. One of those three. I don't think Portugal can win it. I'd love that. I would love a team that's not considered an obvious favourite to win it. But good save by Lloris. Denmark should have been 2-1 up. Cut back cross again. Great chance. France a little bit ropey here in the midfield, and the midfield runners are causing them problems. Wow, could we get a shock? If Mexico win, Argentina's out. Yeah, they are, Ian. I think if they draw, they're in trouble as well. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, don't forget, it's Argentina-Mexico at 7 o'clock. Did you hear the commentator for England last night said he spoke to Southgate about the back four, and he said he picks them because they all like each other. That's why White doesn't play, says Sergeant Stupid. Nothing would surprise me with Southgate, mate. Saudi Arabia deserves to go through, says Ivan. Well, they still can. Still could. Denmark are playing well now, you know. Just write that down for tomorrow. Varane goes off after 73 minutes. On comes not Saliba, it's Kanate. So Varane and Dembele go off, and Kanate and Koeman come on. You get the feeling that's about fitness, don't you? That's about protecting Varane and Dembele. Griezmann's class, says Sam. Varane's just coming back from injury, Dean, so didn't play the first game, and he's probably just feeding him back into tournament football, isn't he? Because they'll be playing again on Tuesday. So, I mean, as a Man United fan, it's not ideal to be playing Varane 90 minutes every 3 or 4 days. So, I think it's just about, you know, managing their game time. And the same with Dembele as well. You know, breadstick, hamstrings, you need to keep him involved. I mean, imagine the amount of goals Haaland would score in a French team, says Matthias. He scores a goal a game in a poor Norwegian team. There you go. Very interesting. France on the attack here with Mbappé. And that goes for a corner. I wonder if France have got the know-how to win this game now. Quite a different profile in their front four. Giroud's come off. Dembele's come off. How far do you think Italy would have gone in the World Cup, says Darsh? You can't predict those sort of things, mate. You know, we're still quite early into this tournament as well. And Italy, I've seen some terrible Italy. I mean, I remember Italy winning the World Cup in 2006. I don't think they were a very good side, but they still found a way of winning it. So Italy always had that ability of grinding their way there. Advoc says, come on Denmark from Sweden. It was a hypothetical about Italy. Everybody knows they're not in it. Well, probably not everybody. Does it work like that with Scandinavian countries then? So would Sweden be happy for Norway and Denmark to do well, or is there rivalry? Not a fan of Messi, but I hope they get the win tonight. Would be sad to see them go out so early if it's his last World Cup, says August. And hi, Mark. Who do you think will go to the next round, Iran or USA, says Sina? It's a difficult one for me because I've got friends who are, a couple of friends who are Iranian. I know a lot of Americans. I won't be massively bothered who goes through, but corner to France here. Goal! No, I thought it was in. Chouamini gets his head on it. How does he not score? Oh, it deflects off a Danish player. That's why. It is going in and it hits the back of the Danish player and goes wide. Yeah. Would have been a goal, that. Another corner. I think USA have played the better football. I think USA deserve to go through from the group. But if Iran beat them, I'm only saying that because in 2 games, I think USA have been the best footballing side in England's group. But if Iran beat them, then different story, innit? The Bridgemaster General, good to see you again, says Harry O'Kane. Thank you very much for the super chat, pal. Sweden and Finland hate each other, says Canna Dave. Finland aren't in Scandinavia, though, are they? I think Scandinavia is Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. Another corner for France. Kasper Schmeichel punches it clear. Good take by Mbappé. Theo Hernandez. Cross is good. Oh, what a goal that would have been from Rabiot. Caught it on the volley. Mark, get your facts right. Iran just needs a draw, says Baron. Yeah, you're right. They do just need a draw. You're right. We're talking about who goes through. I think Iran have probably got a good chance of going through because United States haven't scored loads of goals, have they? 1 goal in 2 games. They played good, but they don't look like they're scoring goals. So that's going to be a very good game. I'm a Swede. I love Finland, but I hate Denmark, says Experiment. Will Fernandes shine again now Ronaldo is gone, says Damon. Oh, at United? Well, we'll see. He does seem to play better without him, doesn't he? I'm starving. I've got my Chinese. I can smell it. According to you, who was the best World Cup winning team, says Tiger Claws. And by lips, he says, we hate Denmark. I'm Swedish, but we love Norway, little brother. Honest opinion on Kane, I think he's been rubbish, says Ivan Whelan. I don't think he looks very good. I don't think he generally looks good in an England shirt. Oh, nearly a chance for Denmark there as well. Good stuff. Mark, I think you look like Rodney from Only Fools and Horses, says 12th Man Soon. Lovely cross into the box again, and I think it's Braithwaite who just skims the side of the post with his shot. I think Lloris had it covered anyway, but best World Cup side I've seen. You know what? Germany 1990 was very good in the group stage. They were very good. They were a very good team. I hated them because I didn't want them to win and they knocked England out. But Germany 1990 was a good team. Brazil 94 was a good team. They did... The 94 final was shit against Italy, but Brazil 94 was a good team. France 98 was a good team. Brazil 2002, I don't think they were that good. I thought they were good, but I feel England should have beat them if we didn't have Ericsson in charge. 2006 Italy, I mean, I was really pleased they won it, but they weren't the best on the eye. Spain, I never really found easy to watch. That'll be 2010. 2014 was Germany again, wasn't it? They were pretty good. France 2018, I thought were quite good, but pragmatic. So I think for me, I'd probably go France 98 or Brazil 94. Who would you choose to win your idol of your country? Messi is my idol, but Mexico is my country, says Ishmael Fran. I'm a bit too old to have idols. I mean, I'm a massive fan of Ronaldo. Would I rather Ronaldo won the World Cup or England? I'd rather England won the World Cup, to be honest. If Scandinavia was a country, we could win the World Cup, says August 121. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Don't forget to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We will be doing Argentina. Talking of Messi, we'll be doing Argentina in just over an hour's time, 7 o'clock. Big game, big game. Italy were unlucky in 1994. Yeah, I think Baggio was using this ball in the penalty shootout. I mean, bloody hell. You can sky a penalty and you can do what Roberto Baggio did. Bloody hell. That's up there with Chris Waddle, that is. I think we might be heading for a draw here. Which I think many people would have predicted a draw before the tournament. France-Denmark, second game of the group stage. Probably going to be a draw. I think Deschamps has treated it as a bit of a group game as well. I think his substitutions have been more long-term. I think Varane and Dembele coming off and Giroud coming off. Would you do that in the knockout stage? I don't think you would. But did you see Pele in person? Says Sean. I'm not that bloody old, mate. He must have retired in the 70s. Favourite World Cup jersey this year, Mark, says Keane. Well, you can all get involved in that. What's your favourite World Cup jersey of the tournament? I like Japan's, but I do like France as well. I do like Japan's top. What else ones do I like? Yeah, I like the Japan one, I do. USA away as well. They're all blue, aren't they? Yeah, I like the USA away that they wore last night. I like Japan and I like the French kit. The Belgian one's not too bad as well. Haven't seen Germany's away, but if it's black, I can imagine it's lovely. I mean, I haven't actually seen them all yet. France deserves this for not bringing our boy Tony, says Christian. Mexico away. A lot of people are telling me Mexico away is nice. I feel a Google search here. Let's have a look. Oh, that red and white thing. No, that's not for me. France on the attack. Kingsley Coman should have put the cross in there. Griezmann will. And he scores! Mbappé again! It's 2-1! France have stolen it at the end, I think. I think he has. There might be a touch of handball there, but it's Mbappé again. Tell me how many goals has he got in the World Cup now. I think he might have 1, 2, 3. He's looking at the golden boots. The golden boy of the World Cup. We were talking about him before. Is he the best player in the World Cup? I don't feel like he stands out as the best player in the World Cup, but this very much could be his World Cup. Kylian Mbappé, 2-1 to France. Let's watch it back. Again, another. We mentioned this against Australia. We mentioned it coming into the game. We've seen it again in this game. The quality of crosses into the box has been absolutely superb this tournament. I would never normally be a big shouter at positivity for France, but the way they play the game might be a hint of offside. We'll have to see. But the way they play the game, I love it. I love the way they put crosses into the box. Now, is there a hint of offside and is there a hint of handball? We'll hold off for a minute. Well, he knees it in, so there's no handball. It's a lovely finish. What a cross. What a goal. Let's see if there's a handball here. Not a handball. No, he's giving it. This French side is a joy to watch. 2-1. Probably deserved it, you know. Probably deserved it over the game. I mean, I don't know whether we can take a look at the stats here. I'm sure we can. Of course we can. I'm in charge. Possession-wise, it's been equal, but 20 shots to 8, 6 shots on target to 2. On the balance of the game, I think France have just about deserved it. But there's still time. There is still time for Denmark to get back into this, of course. But second half's delivered, hasn't it? Let's hope this Mexico, Argentina at 7 o'clock. We could be saying bye to Argentina if things go bad. Surely they won't. Surely Messi will turn up. Surely Argentina will turn up. But they were poor against Saudi Arabia, and I would say that Mexico will be fancying their chances. Brave Denmark, class France, says Colin. Yeah, I think France have just had a little bit too much for Denmark. Who I still think Denmark will come through. Obviously, if they beat Australia, they will still go through with 4 points. But France is just a different level for them. France away kit. I haven't seen the French away kit. But Denmark are pushing again here. Mbappé wanted that on the break and Koeman didn't see him. He's not happy. It might still be on. Oh, it wasn't on. He wants a hat-trick here, Mbappé. He wants a World Cup hat-trick. Not many people get them. France versus England in the final. It'll be France versus England in the quarterfinal, mate. But that's where we're going to meet. As long as we top our group and they top their group, which they will, we'll meet in the quarterfinals. We can't meet in the final. I think the only way we can finish, the only way we can meet France in the final is if they finish second in their group and we top our group, or the other way around. And I think we'll beat Wales. Who were some of your favourite Mexican players, says Jordan Ray. I liked the guy who played for... why can't I remember his name? He played for... I think, for some reason, I think Alvarez, but they have got an Alvarez playing for them now. He played for Barcelona, and I think he used to play for Mexico as sort of like a midfielder, and then later in his career he became a centre-back. Someone in the chat will name his name. Marquez, that was it. Marquez, yeah. I liked Marquez. I mean, Chicharito's brilliant because he played for Man United, but if we're talking about quality, I liked Marquez. I thought he was a brilliant footballer. And many a World Cup. I've seen Mexico play in a couple of World Cups, and look, they'd always play good football. I don't know that that's really what's going on with Mexico at the moment. 46% for Haaland is unbelievable. Mbappé will be on the level of greatness. Haaland is great, but should not be compared, says Joe. Yeah, so 54% of you gone for Mbappé over Haaland. Thanks for votes. 12,000 votes. Thank you very much. Here is Mbappé. He's through here. And he just went for a volley when he could have slipped Thuram in. 90 minutes. How long is it going to get added on? 6. Only 6 minutes added on. It's coming down. Good. I don't want any of these. This referee deserves a bit of credit. Realistic added time. 6 minutes added on. And what did he add on in the first half? 1 or 2? We can deal with that. I've got a Chinese to eat and a bath. Do you think Argentina will beat Mexico? Well, let's do a poll. We're live at this one at 7 o'clock. Argentina, Mexico, and I nearly put 0-0, but I'll put draw. I don't think it'll be a 0-0. I really don't. Yeah, we're live straight after this. Well, not straight after this, but we're live with Mexico and Argentina. Of course, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, it's Germany against Spain, and we may well lose our first big club tomorrow. I mean, we could lose Argentina tonight, but I think we will lose Germany tomorrow. My theory is that Japan will beat Costa Rica at 10 a.m. and then Germany will have to beat Spain. If England plays similar to yesterday, we're out in the last 16, says Alex G. And do you think Richarlison could be world class if he played for Man City? Seems crazy, but for Brazil, he's more than goals than appearances, says Myron. I think Richarlison's a good player. I think, you know, you play for Everton and people don't necessarily give you the respect your talent deserves. He's done reasonably well in the start to his career for Spurs. I think the problem Richarlison's got, or Richarlison, I never know how to pronounce his name. I think the problem he's got is the problem that Callum Wilson's got for England. Harry Kane. Harry Kane plays every game for England and every game for Spurs. And I think that Richarlison's best position is the position that Harry Kane plays. So that's the problem he's got at Spurs, Harry Kane. If he played in that position, that's his best position. The French are breaking the curse of the World Cup, says Brutos. Unless it happened before I was born, I don't think a team has ever retained the World Cup. In fact, I can go back to 58 Brazil. I can't remember who won the World Cup in 62. 66 England, Brazil. Yeah, no one's ever done back-to-back, have they? I don't think anyone's ever done back-to-back in the World Cup. Who won the World Cup in 62? Italy, says Yusuf. Oh, Brazil won it in 62. Okay, they have done it. There we go. We've had a back-to-back World Cup. There you go. I think it's too early to say France will retain the World Cup anyway. I think what you can say is that France are a strong contender for the World Cup. Now, here's Thuram. He's got a bit of space to run into. He's on his own. He waits. He should have found... Oh, a lovely turn. He should have found a pass. Crosses it. Mbappé didn't see the man. We've still got 2 minutes to go. Somebody just said Italy have retained it. Give us the years. The curse is that the holders get knocked out in the group stage. Yeah, it's not going to happen. I think France have taken that Australia result and shown that wasn't a one-off. They're a very good side. I mean, players that have come on as well. I mean, the scary thing about France is that people like Kingsley Coman and Thuram, Konate, they've come on and it's seamless, isn't it? They've got good depth, and this is a team that's without Kante, Pogba, Benzema, and Nkunku. They've still got amazing depth in their squad, France, and of course they can go into the Tunisia game, and he can make changes if he wants to. And we've got about... Well, Mbappe's just gone down injured here. They don't want him picking up any injuries, do they? Didn't look like a bad foul, that. Don't think he'll be bothered. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. 60% of you are going with an Argentina win. We'll find out. We will be live in just under an hour's time for that. And just over an hour's time will be the 7 p.m. start. Argentina need a result against Mexico. It would be a game I would be looking forward to anyway, Argentina-Mexico. But with the added spice of Argentina losing to Saudi Arabia, this is a game that Argentina need to deliver in. Can Messi and co do it? We'll find out at 7 o'clock. So make sure you tune in for that one. Thanks everyone who's subscribed, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. And don't forget OneFootball. Big shout out to them for sponsoring our stats carousel. You can download it through the link in the description, or you can use the QR code. OneFootball to get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news and stats. It's free to download and available on all platforms. Thank you very much to OneFootball. In fact, we've got a really good sponsor at 7 o'clock. I've just remembered I get to drink it. And it's not who you think it's going to be. Who was my man of the match, Luke? Mbappé. I mean, you've got to give it to Mbappé. In games like this, goals win the games. It's been tight. I do think that Tchouaméni's had a very good game, though. I'd give him a shout out. But I'd give it Mbappé for the goals have won the game here, and it's in a very, Denmark have defended very well. On another day, this could have been, I think if you take Mbappé out of the game, it's 0-0. I think he's been the game changer. England have depth, a lot of depth, says Rian. Yeah, we just don't know how to use it. And there it is. That's the full-time results. So it's 2-1 to France, 6 points. They go through and into the next round. Deschamps looks very happy. That was a really good test for them. And I think this will stand France in good stead. Playing a team that's a knockout team in a group just gives you that added confidence, bit more competition. Good result for them. Right, I'm going to go and have my Chinese and my bath, and I will be back at 6:45 live with the Argentina build-up for what is going to be a massive game. Take care, everyone. I'll speak to you all in a bit.